Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alao Maria Setope from Ujulu, City.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon. Udubeko Taiwo, Doctor, the Director, Admin and HR, Council Manager, Ikeja Local Government.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Honorable Ayotunde Adenuga, the immediate past leader in Ikeja Local Government.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Masha Adewale, Councillor representing Ilasa Maja-Mushin Local Government.
You are welcome, sir. You are all welcome, and I believe this is a session we will all enjoy. So next on our list, we will be welcoming the CEO of Farwill Consult Limited for an opening speech.
Thank you. Opening speech indeed. Thank you very much. Warm greetings to you all. You are welcome to Kigali. They say it is the cleanest city in Africa. But the people of Morocco will contest that. If you have actually visited the city of Rabat in Morocco, to me, I think I will pick Rabat ahead of here. But they always say it's the cleanest city in Africa. I want to believe that you have all noted a lot of differences between our countries and here, except if you are from the northeast, maybe from Taraba, Bauchi, that they have Ili place, they have plateau in that place. Apart from that, if you are from the west, the topography and the landscape will be so new to you. But if you are from plateau, from Taraba, Adamawa, this type of roads on hill will not be new to you. On behalf of the board of partners of our company, permit me to formally welcome you to Kigali. And to tell me, Colin, for many of you that may not know, this hotel is an historic hotel. It's the popular Hotel Rwanda that was described in the film Hotel Rwanda by Terry J. The narration was by Paul Rusesabagina, and it's the hotel where over 1,200 people were kept for days during the unfortunate genocide against Tutsi in 1994. Over 1,200 people were under bed, idle in this hotel for up to a month. And several people were killed right outside there. So it's an historic hotel that you know. And if you have not seen the movie, please you may endeavor to see the movie. Hotel Rwanda, or sometimes in April, you will see, you will know more about the hotel. It is important to briefly scan through the program of activities and some expectations. Today is a lecture day, and we are going to have 4 sections. That will revolve our theme from lawmaking to impact effective legislative processes at the local government level. Of course, for participants that are not working in local government, congratulations to you, because it's an opportunity for you to know about the local government, because you at least live in one local government. And unfortunately in Nigeria, many of us are illiterate concerning what is happening to even professors. Since we don't care or we don't want to. And there's no way any country will develop if we are not concerned about what is happening at the grassroots level. All of us focus what happened in Abuja or what happened in Alausa, forgetting that what can actually drive progress and the economy of a nation is at the grassroots level. Forgetting that what can also drive the economy of a country is a small-scale business, small enterprise. If you have read how they drive the economy of Europe, even up to today, Up to today, you see that there are small and medium scale enterprise in Europe, more than big company like Dangote and all that. That's why they transfer family business to one another, particularly in the Scandinavia, in the Sweden, Norway, and all that. You see a grandmother, mother, they do the same thing. They move it from one another. Sections will be on the topic from mandate to impact, policy making for results. This will be facilitated by the distinguished Honorable Ayotunji Adenuga, the immediate past leader of Ikeja local government legislative arm. Our decisions to pick Honorable Adenuga is because we want the presentations to actually be connected with the reality. We don't choose a professor because we know a professor may not actually know, even if you are a professor of local government, you may not actually understand the challenges facing the local government. Honorable Ayotunji has been there. I'm sure before he became a leader, he has been a councillor. We believe that he will be in a position to facilitate on this topic. Second sections will be on the topic, importance of effective communication for productive legislative processes in the local government level. This will be delivered by Mr. Moshood Fatai. The section 3 will be on the local government and legal issues. This will be handled by Barrister Esther Oweye. She will do justice to this topic, and we are very lucky that we have among the participants head of legal department of Ikeja local government, Barrister Abid. Our experience definitely will be of great reference point during the discussions. The last section will be on the topic, your body, your life, journey to total wellness. In Farwill, we believe that health is wealth. Training without health talk and wellness is incomplete, because no matter what you know, if you are not concerned about your personal well-being, about your health, that may not actually be useful to you, not to talk about being useful to the community. And you know, if you are not useful to yourself, there's no way you can even be useful to your immediate community. It is a privilege that we have Ms. Ijora Paul, a licensed physical therapist and chief executive officer of the Body Mechanic Massage and Therapy Wellness Center. And I have good news to you all. Everybody before we go is going to have a 45-minute massage sections. And you don't join yours together with that. So you can choose your time. You can contact Engineer Assis to check for your time. Either you can choose today's evening, you can choose tomorrow morning, you can choose tomorrow evening. We schedule it like that accordingly to the time we are going to go.
Some people like male masseurs, not female.
No,
I'm not a cosmetics therapist. I'm a physical licensed therapist. So there's a big difference. So we should expatiate.
Yes, during the sections we will discuss that. So that is on that. After the discussions, there will be a formal section for photographs. After that, we will return to the hotel to prepare for our welcome cultural night. And of course, on Saturday, we will go to Kigali City Tour, Genocide Memorial, Belgian Peacekeepers Museum, zip lining, and we'll go to Mount Kigali. Of course, on Sunday, we are moving out of Kigali. We are traveling to the city of Musanze. Musanze is regarded as the tourism hub of Rwanda. That is where they normally do the popular gorilla naming ceremony, and is the best place currently in Africa to explore for shopping, and we hope that some people will not become a Yaloja of Kimeruku, because we have a maximum of 3 hours to spend there. On Tuesday, we will return to retreat section with discussion on issues of interest between the executive and the legislative arm. We are going to reflect on challenges and ways to resolve them. It is a great privilege that we have among the participants a very versatile administrators and HR expert, who is also the current manager, the council manager of Ikeja local government, Mrs. Taiwo Odu Beko. Our experience and insight from her shall be of an inestimable value to that session. We will have a demo budget presentation, because we understand at the local government level, even at the state level, that has always been an issue. And we are going to discuss the correct issues of interest between the executive and legislative arm at the grassroots level. We are expecting the Rwandese parliamentarian to join us in the discussions for possible comparative interactions and analysis. The experience of a distinguished Rwanda journalist, Ms. Janet Umumrashavu, shall also positively color that session. After the demo budget presentation, there will be a review and presentation of certificates to all participants and the resource person before the retreat launcher. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, early in the morning, because of the airport protocol, we need to leave at 5:30 a.m. to airport for our return trip back to Lagos. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the overview of all the activities, and sincerely appeal for your prompt cooperation. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you so much for that. Tunde Adenuga. But before then, we will call Mr. Fashional to come please and read the biography of or citation of Mr. Ayotunde Adenuga. Please let's jam our hands together for him.
Thank you very much. Please permit me to stand on the already established protocol.
It is easier for me. I don't know.
Honorable Ayotunde Adenuga is the immediate past leader of the legislative arm of Ikeja local government in Nigeria. A two-term councillor, he distinguished himself in his first term as the youngest councillor in Lagos State and emerged as a prominent advocate of the Not Too Young to Run campaign, championing youth inclusion in governance. He holds a degree from Covenant University, Ota, in Ogun State, and possesses both a Master of Business Administration, MBA, and a Master of Public Administration, MPA, reflecting a strong foundation in leadership, governance, and public service. Honorable Adenuga began his professional career in public service at Lagos State Ministry of Special Duties, where he served between year 2010 and 2012 as personal assistant to the senior special assistant to the governor on special duties. Driven by a commitment to public service, he returned to active politics and was elected councillor representing Ward C, Onilekere, Ikeja local government, a position he has successfully retained through re-election. Honorable Ayotunde Adenuga is widely recognized for his passion for youth development, empowerment, and participatory governance. His leadership and service have earned him several notable awards and recognitions, including the following: Award of Excellence, Lagos State Student Union in the year 2020. Outstanding and Performing Counselor of the Year, Young Achievers Nigeria in 2018. Emerging Political Icon Award, National Union of Lagos State Students, year 2019. 10 Outstanding Young Person in Nigeria from the JCI, Nigeria. Awardee, Royal Award Young Leaders Forum, RAYLF, conferred by His Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ile-Ife. One of the most influential young persons in Lagos, Lagos Youth Parliamentary in year 2021. Honorable Adenuga remains committed to progressive leadership, youth advocacy, and sustainable development at the grassroots level. At this junction, permit me to honorably invite to this podium Honorable Adenuga. Let's put that together.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Okay, I think after during the introduction, I got to know who the councillors are. The first thing I was going to do here this afternoon was ask who councillors are, and then get to know ourselves. Is there any two-timer councillor amongst us? Any second-timer? Oh, leader is a second-timer. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have to be here this afternoon, and we'll be talking on from Monday to Impact. I'm going to be a whiskey this afternoon. You know when you pay for whiskey show and you go for the show, he sings just one line, then he points the mic to you to talk. So we'll sing along. So this afternoon is going to be very, very interactive since we have councillors in our midst, and then we're also privileged to have the CM Ikeja local government. So when we need to balance out, then we can always seek for our opinion. So some of the things we'll be talking about today, which I'm going to rush through, are some things that we can easily see in textbooks, in journals, and we can always read about. So, and then we also have another section where these are real life experiences, where we get to share experiences. And like I always tell my colleagues when I was in the local government, that there is no right or wrong answer. When situations come, you might see it from this angle, and then the other person sees it from the other angle. But as much as there is no right or wrong answer, there is a right perspective to look at things. I will quickly rush through. Who is a councillor? We know who a councillor is. A lot of us do not even know why we are councillors. So many times we just believe that Lagbaja ti ṣe fún several years. Why can't I do it? And at times some of us see it as our right. My father served the party. My father was a part of AD. My father was a part of AC. He was a part of ACN. He was a part of APC. So the Bible tried to cancel for me. So you find out that so many people get there, and 4 years seems like 2 days. It was after I left office I realized that 4 years, 1 term, 2 term, look where. What about Jomeji or Jometa? But the question we get to ask ourselves afterwards is, what did I do in the space of the 4 years? What did I achieve in the space of the 8 years? Who is a councillor? An elected representative at the grassroots level, the ward level. If we look at it, there lack of leadership among CDA chairman law. And then we serve as a door between the government and then the people. How well do we do this? we need to ask ourselves those questions. I know of councillors. I'm going to be citing so many examples, but I'm not going to be mentioning local governments and I'm not going to be mentioning names. But so that we can pick lessons today, I'll be mentioning a lot of real-life examples. A councillor is an elected representative chosen by the people to make laws, scrutinize and approve public spending and other activities while representing the interests of their constituents in government decisions. Qualities of a councillor. There are so many qualities of a councillor, several qualities, but I've just tried to highlight a number of them. Integrity. Honorable, kí la fẹ́ ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ yìí? Ìkan báyìí la máa ṣe o. That is what he will tell you in the morning. When you ask him the same question later in the evening, he has changed his position. What things like this does to you is, it makes people have less confidence in you. Mr. Leader, ever already chairman. You get to the chairman's place, chairman says, kò sówó ńlẹ̀ o, but má worry, ìwọ ṣáà gba 1 million yìí, dákẹ́jà máa wọ wọn èèyàn ẹ̀ràn. It happens. Àbí la fẹ́ parọ́ tán ra wa. So the place of integrity always comes to play. Effective communication. How well can you communicate to the people? One of my classes at the MBA, I have a professor that will always tell you, I like somebody who can tell you to go to hell in a way that you look forward to going to hell. How well can you communicate to your people? How well can you tell them? There are times when what is a priority to them in your ward is not a priority to them in the local government. Not because the chairman doesn't want to do it, but we know that there are limited resources. Afeshi programs, Afeshi Bra, Afeshi Awo. At the end of the day, the chairman tries to prioritize every other word. Mushi has 10 words. That's a lot. So you find out that there are times when a word will always have to sacrifice for the other words. Now, how do you go back to tell your people? Wọ́n ní ọ̀nà tó wà ní Ìtìrẹ ló fẹ́ ṣe lọ́dún yìí o, kó tó kan gọ́tà tó fẹ́ ṣe bíbá yìí o, time máa lọ. One of the things I did very well when I was in office was I engaged a lot of private partnership. You see, for those who have companies in their wards, you can always maximize it. These people want to have dealings with councillors. They want to have dealings with representatives of the council. We can always have an agreement and say, do this for us, and in return, we will talk to the council manager and the council treasurer. If your tax is supposed to be X amount, you can always look into it. And at times, you don't even always have to work on that at all. Accountability. Knowledge of laws and governance. I would have loved to throw the question, but I'll just throw it in the way that you ask yourselves. How many of us as councillors has digested the administrative guidelines? I'm not asking you to raise your hand, but just ask yourself. It is difficult for you to operate as a legislator without knowing what the administrative guidelines does or what it says. Tẹ́ bá pàdé HOD tó mọṣẹ́, wọ́n rubbish ni. I always tell my colleagues, the legal officer, clerk, about sọ fún legal àpàfẹ́ ni wọn. No, you know what I call letter. Just invite her. Then I'll place a call to her. She knows her work. And people like this, you find out that if you meet a councillor who is not able to define what they are doing in the office, and when it is by man rubbish on. But as councillors, we need to do a lot of reading. We need to, commercial work projects they come. We need to develop ourselves. One of the most important things I realized is, as councillors, after we have spent years in office, I hear one Razak Ajalati law. téèyàn kan máa ṣe councillor, ṣe super, ṣe soul, ṣe ES, àti chairman 8 years. Ẹni bá ṣe councillor ọdún mẹ́rin torí kejì gbà, kó dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Because you find out that assembly members will spend so many years there. Yemi Ali will come, will be in the House of Reps, they will tell you because of experience, let him continue. But you as a councillor, they will tell you you cannot do more than a term, at times 2 terms. From the inception of democracy in my ward, there had never been a second timer. I came, I saw, and I conquered. Allah alone. But there are some tricks around it. We can always talk about all those things. I'm made to understand I have 10 minutes. I'll just run through problem solving ability, interpersonal skills, time management and discipline, then responsiveness to constituents. Ever since I became a councillor, phone comparing Molo, number comparing Molo, kò sí anybody in the world tí ò ní number mi. Kò sí anybody tí ò lè pè mí. They call whenever they want to, and it makes them people call for very little things. I have an issue with my landlord, and that is why we are there. One of the best things I did for myself as a legislator was I stayed in my community. In 2017, I was going to move out of the community, and that was just before the election. Let me not shoot myself in the leg. It is not convenient. But when we look at those things very well, ìnáwó tá à ń sá fún tábà padà bó ṣọjọ́ kan làwa kí wọn a máa ná times 10 ẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá béèrè 2 naira lénìí tó béèrè 1 naira lọ́la tó bá dọ̀tún la ojú àti láti béèrè owó lọ́wọ́ yín. The major functions of a councillor, representation that we have talked about, lawmaking, bylaws, and then our appropriation bill. Immediately it's been assented to, it becomes a law. So those are major, and then oversight functions. A lot of us see oversight functions as an avenue láti rí owó, but these are times when we call people out. I don't think I've ever called the council manager to say, I'm not seeing engineer tó wà ńbẹ̀ kò ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa, contractor tó wà ńbẹ̀ kò ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa, and everybody will not run around. Because it is our place to demand for quality. And then when we don't do that, it becomes a problem of the entire community. Now we'll be talking about case discussions. And I will quickly run through. We have about 5 here. I purposely did not send these challenges. And then I made it look like questions so that we can discuss about it. I'm sure we have mics on the table. At this point, I'll just be asking the questions, and then I'll be asking your opinions about it. Majority leader, who's the majority leader? Okay, then the chief whip, okay. The leader, the deputy leader. One more 4 principal officers, so I'll call my GC1. Then I can call another person, please. How do you relate to the executive and management arm as councillors? Let me give you an example. A lot of us as councillors, we see the management as our subordinates. There are times when I say, immediately we emerged as councillors and then I became the leader of the house. The first assignment I did in the local government was, let us pay a visit to all the heads of departments. As councillors, we believe that the reverse should be the case, where you can't be one. But I said, let us pay a visit to them. It was building a relationship with them. And it was easy for us to do that, know what is happening in their departments, and then be friends with them. One of the closest sets of people to me in my 8 years in the local government are heads of departments. Continue. Mo lè rántí iye ìgbà after office tí mo rí credit alert látọ̀dọ̀ CM. CM kan náà ló leader wọ́n send ìkọ̀kọ̀ sí nísìn. Kò ṣe 6, kò ṣe 7, kò ṣe. And I'm not talking small amounts. That is the type of relationship we have built. I didn't know the CM and the legal officer were going to be on this trip. Imagine if I had told them I was leader of the house, I was number 3 citizen. I will call anybody's bluff. I dẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ wa á lọ. Àwa pàdé nígbà yẹn tí wọ́n máa yé mú. Bí ẹ máa wò, leader náà. So our relationship with these people needs to be very cordial. Mr. Leader, sir, I'd like you to answer that question. How do you think we can relate with the executive and management as councillors? Like I said, there are no right or wrong answers. Can I ask for 5 minutes?
Thank you, my, and I can say senior colleagues. Well, it depends on the local government because you have different popularities in the local government. You see, in as much the councillor may want to relate with some HODs, may turn out, calling them or asking their cooperation may turn out to be another thing through the executive chairman. But the best way to go about it is, like they said, you need to let them know that you are not rivaling with them, that you are working in progress with them. I think with that, we can move forward.
Thank you very much. A lot of chairmen do not want you to relate with HODs, most especially the CM. And like you said, there are peculiarities in different local governments. I can't remember the last time I took anything to the chairman for approval. CM, my CM is here. CM, I'm talking about legislators very. Egbeloso the chairman, I'm talking about Soejamo. Leader, chairman don't want to ship 10 million. All of my shit 9 million. Oh yeah, just 9.5. Oh yeah. And he ends on a table. And we get results. So it is important that we manage that relationship. It does not mean you fight with the chairman. And it does not stop you from being friends with them. It does not stop you from being friends with the HODs. Let me tell you one funny thing. A lot of times, relationship between both parties. Which is most important to you as a councillor? Your constituents or your government? It is a trick question. They are both extremely important. Wole wá sádùúgbò. Wọ́n lọ wá ti ilé kan nítorí ibẹ̀ dọ̀tí. Wọ́n nítorí ilé yẹn nìbò wá pọ̀ sí jù. Alé wọlé yẹn bí ara. Get out of this place. Ṣọ́ọ̀bù ẹgbẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ń dìbò fún wa ni. Ìjọ tẹ́bà ní síbẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá rán wọlé yẹn lọ ṣiṣẹ́. This time around, ẹ̀yẹ́ rán wọn ní respect wọn. So you can balance both relationship without having to offend any party. It is difficult at times, but if you cancel on Kigali, mo forúkọ bò láṣìírí. Tó torí pé òun gbìjà àwọn èèyàn ẹ̀ tó fọ́ etí wọlé. Wà tó di ọ̀rọ̀ third term, ló ló fẹ́ jáde fún third term. Àwọn aráàlú ẹ̀ tó torí wọn fọ́ etí lọ́ní kò sí tó jẹ́ third term lọ jókòó ẹ̀. Council wá di ibi tí ó lè wọ̀ mọ́. So it is important that we manage this relationship. How best, Mr. Leader, how best and to what extent do you need to carry your colleagues along as the leader of the house? You are privileged to be the leader. You are just first among equals. You are first a councillor before a leader of the house. Build a very intimate relationship with them. Sherry, I don't have any problem with leader, deputy leader. Although all local government come at Toyato, and sit the job will see him, but there are ways to manage these people. Sincerely, I wish I had more time to talk about this, but there are ways to manage everybody. I have studied you in the last few hours, and I can attest to the fact that you have a cordial relationship with your councillors. I can attest to that fact. And it is just important that we keep it up. Lobbying is part of our business as legislators. How can we deploy this as a tool to achieve outcome for your constituents? Kokiba chairman. However, since we talked about in the last few weeks, but you don't have to tell them Ikeja phone councillors in 20 million, chairman the board of 120 million. mọ́tò báyìí lọ́ra. They are human. The CM knows that there are times when I get it by 10 kobo. Chairman, tell you like ẹran àgbò. Màá ti wá ẹran àgbò kan. Mo ti gbowó. Màá ti wá ẹran àgbò kan, màá ti mú lọ sọ́dọ̀ wọn láàárọ̀. Ìdílé tó wá kírun tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ìlú ọmọ àkọ́kọ́ rí. And mo wá on behalf of our councillors. Chairman, náà yẹ tó ti wá bribe mi. We can always manage our relationship effectively with those people. I'm rounding up. In conclusion, one of the things I would like us to take home, even if we don't take anything home today, is 4 years, 8 years seems like a long time, but it is very short. Build very good relationship. I'm not saying just within the local government, even outside the local government. I've been out of office for how many months? About 6 months. I don't think I've spent a whole month in Nigeria. And this is not because I am the best. It is because I've been able to harness the office and build solid relationship. And then you see people say, join us here, join us there, join us there. Not until you leave the office before you know them. Your phone will stop ringing. Oh, shuke. You are no longer relevant to them. Another leader of the house, still are. Oh, that way, leader of the house. Even if you have colleagues here that you have served together, you find out that immediately after you leave, they have pledged their loyalty to someone else. So it is important that we build very solid relationship. Develop yourself. That's number 2. If you spend 8 years in government as a councillor, and peradventure no other opportunity comes, no appointments, no elective position, I've never had a business already, and then you wake up and say, I want to move into the private sector. Trust me, your 4 years and 8 years counts as zero experience in so many private sectors. How well are you building yourself in office? Programs. Online programs, MBAs, short MBAs. Develop yourself. So you can always add that to your CV and say, oh, these were the things I was doing while I was a councillor. I got into Ikeja local government with just the BSc. At the time I was living with so many certifications and 1 MBA and 1 MPA because I had enough time. As councillors, what are we doing? Each hours is now. Out of 5 days in a week, the 5 working days, you can decide to dedicate 3 days to yourself. Apart from the 2 days of plenary, every committee meeting the Lawmaking available. Kill and joke with council. A lot of these things might not resonate with you until you leave office. So it is important that we look at it well now and then we do something about it. Finally, invest. 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 Free money too bad. But immediately it stops coming. I believe we can always tell ourselves the truth, which is the reason why I'm just hitting it on the head. Immediately it stops coming. But thank God for little investment here and there, even if it's a business. And then for the men amongst us, because the first lady, the office councillor, let's equip our wives. Gbogbo tabari ẹja àdásí mẹ́ta bó ṣe ọ̀kan la kó fún wọn. Níjọ́ tó bá red, àríbi sá lọ. And for the female. Vice versa. For councillors, I always give a story when I talk about teamwork, and then I'm going to end with that story today. So whenever I talk about teamwork, I always remember a story that I was sharing. I think one of the MBA classes of a farmer and a wife. the farmer has a hen, a goat, and a cow in his household. So, a mouse entered the house and started running around. And then the farmer said, my wife, let us set a trap for this mouse so that we can kill the mouse. Then the mouse overheard and went to the goat and said, farmer, if you help me, how can you help me? The goat said, it is not my business. He went to the cow. The cow said the same thing. It is your business and not my business. He went to the hen. The hen said the same thing. That it is his business. So the farmer went ahead to set a trap. And then on the day where he set this trap, instead of the trap catching the mouse, he caught a snake. So the wife of the farmer walked into the place thinking that it had caught the mouse. Then the snake used the last poisonous strength he had to bite the woman. Then she fell ill. In the course of treating her, people came to visit them. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ṣe àwọn tó wá lálejò. Kí la fẹ́ fi ṣe wọ́n lálejò báyìí? Wọ́n bá má dìyẹ, wọ́n pa dìyẹ. Èrò yẹn pọ̀ sí. Oúnjẹ yóò lè tó mọ́. They went for the goats. They killed the goats. Eventually, the farmer's wife died, and they had to do the burial. They went for the cow. They killed the cow. What they saw as not their business eventually became everybody's business. Thank you. Very good.
Thank you.